going on. Addressing the problem with the
All right, here we go.
taste guest episode. Damn, this is kind of loud.
Into the saucy stuff right away, gentlemen.
I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. All right.
Every time.
Why are you booing me? I'm right. Trash taste fans when guests talk about YouTube streaming adjacent topics. Trash taste fans when Chris abroad in Japan talks about YouTube streaming adjacent topics.
Do one of these meme reviews. I always have to address some trash taste stuff.
Okay, let's hear it.
I kind of like doing it though. It's kind of fun.
I like to hear it too, brother.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
What happened? What happened? Tell me.
I'll do it in the correct voice as well.
Okay.
All right. Wait, the voice. Wait, what is the? How do I even represent this?
Trash taste fans.
Guests talk about YouTube streaming adjacent topics. Ah! Trash taste fans when Chris abroad in Japan, like anyone in the subreddit wouldn't know who this is, talks about YouTube streaming adjacent topics. I think the reason why Chris is so good at talking about this stuff in a way that is very appealing is because first and foremost, Chris is comfortable around us, which is a huge thing because Chris talks some mad shit. And it's very funny a lot of the time. But it's kind of tough for a guest or any person to go on a podcast if they don't really know the people very well and just start saying some wild shit.
Only a couple people can do that.
We're all very comfortable. And
only a couple people can do that.
And, and Chris likes being in that role. So it's obviously when he talks about it, it's going to be more fun because he's also just extremely skeptical about it.
Okay.
In a very fun way. It's such a boomer energy.
Boomer
it's
energy.
So funny when he talks about it. Because every YouTuber will be like, man, I just think these shorts things are great. I'm trying to do these shorts. I'm trying to strategize. And Chris was going, I fucking hate shorts. Kill an orphan.
That's some real shit, man. Shorts, like, bro, you have to base your whole channel on shorts to get some type of traction from that shit, bro.
And it's just like, all right, okay, Chris. All right, thank you. Fair enough.
That is definitely boomer energy, bro. Just shit on it.
It is very fun.
It's very different. I don't like it. Yeah.
That being said, and I'm sure that this won't be the last complaining post we have to go through because the Reddit loves a good complain. It's fair enough. You're allowed to complain about a show. I think sometimes a lot of the people who sometimes complain about stuff just for no reason or who are just bored, I think sometimes they don't appreciate sometimes the amount of work that goes into making a weekly show.
I feel like they were going to bring up the effort.
To make sure that a show that is every single week is always the best episode.
That's definitely hard. That's hard as shit
and
to
that
do.
It's always going to be the episode that appeals to you the most. It's tough. It's just tough. I mean, we haven't missed an episode in over 3 years now.
Damn.
And I think
that's wild.
That comes with some drawbacks.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, you also got to take into account that some people just don't give a shit about the effort. Like, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I don't care how hard you worked on it. It was bad. Like, some people are like,
let's continue.
Yeah.
Which part of the Abroad in Japan book did you like? Well, if you haven't watched the episode, that's going to seem very confusing.
Yeah, what? There's a book?
It's tough. I think on one hand, re-inviting guests is good.
Only the early 30s. He's a boomer when it comes to internet.
But I think as a creator, it's like if you're a creator and you come on Trash Taste, you give up like a day or something of your time to come on. I think if you come on multiple times, it's less and less worthwhile for you to come on, right? Because you've already like done the episode, you've already done it. So it's like, I think we don't want to take advantage of people as well and be like, hey, keep coming on our show and making our show better. By the way, you don't get any, like, you know what I mean? You don't get anything out of it.
It's definitely it's business.
You get a bump in audience or whatnot. Like Chris does not get any more viewers from being on Trash Taste on more episodes. Chris comes on because Chris enjoys it. And we're good friends. But like, if Chris is looking at it at like a purely business sense, it wouldn't make sense
to take off a whole day of his own channel.
Every week, right? It would just take up a lot of time, and he wouldn't get the return on investment. Wouldn't make sense.
100%.
That being said, I do think that we have had some episodes or a few episodes with guests on that, they didn't really gel well. Like, I just think it's tough because, like, a lot of the times, if we're doing some episodes, you just kind of hope that it goes well.
Yeah. You don't really know until they are on the show.
Mainly for us, I think as well, like the America one, for example, right? Like we sometimes will have guests on that we really, really wanted, right? And guests that were really good.
Okay.
But if we wanna make it make sense, like bringing a whole filmography setup, but then that went wrong, and then we rented all this equipment.
Damn.
For that to make sense financially, we need to get more episodes out of it than just like
100%.
solid
episodes. Yeah, you're gonna need.
So that's why we would record more.
The return on
the same thing
investment.
with Australia. If we're paying a production company to help us make episodes, it makes way more sense to get more guests on if possible.
Yes.
And you know, maybe those episodes don't gel with some of the audience. And I think that's fine, because I think from our perspective, not every single episode needs to be an absolute banger. But I think for us, we definitely could do a better job at making sure it's a little more integrated, and that guests who maybe the audience won't like, at least will make them feel more involved in the conversation. But it's tough.
100%, dude.
We have one more Australia episode
and
left.
You only have so many guests on top of that. So like, say you do fly to Australia and you do a guest episode, like say there's 10 potential people, but the audience only likes 4 of them. What do? Do you just say fuck the other people and just have the 4 people just keep recycling and coming in? Or do you bite the bullet and, like, even though they might not like this person, still have them come on to the show? Like, yeah, it's definitely hard. But I mean, at this point, Trash Taste is an established weekly podcast. Like, people that are there are going to be there. If they leave, it's only because they're tired of the main crew. I don't think having guests appear is going to be the make or break for Trash Taste. But I also don't see Trash Taste really like skyrocketing when it comes to like a sustained fan base. I feel like they're at where they're at. And like, yeah, if a good guest comes on, their views will go up. And maybe a couple of those people that viewed them for the first time might stick around. But it'd be very rare. You know, at this point, I think they're just, you know, they're still having a good time doing it. But what can you do to make it grow is, I don't even know if they're looking to really make it grow, if they're just more like having fun and just having more people on. But yeah, like business wise and like entertainment wise, Trash Taste is definitely a difficult project, I would say. I mean, like, how many people can you get on your show to talk about like anime, manga, or like VTubing before it gets like pretty redundant? Like having different guests come on and still say like, yeah, my favorite anime is this. Like, I'm not too sure exactly what they talk about all the time on Trash Taste. I'm going just based off like Connor Dog talks about like anime, VTubers, stuff like that. Giga anime, manga, stuff like that. Chris abroad in Japan, I think he talks about anime sometime, but he talks more about like just Japan topics and stuff like that in general. So I don't know. But I definitely love to be on the show. If this video blows up for some reason, I'd definitely like to be on
as well, even though they hate everything. It was a really good episode. It was probably one of my favorite episodes in a long time.
Okay.
It was fucking crazy. So I'm very happy. I think the problem with how do I word it? I just don't want to word it to make people angry. I think sometimes, because like,
bro, that's some real shit. Let me word it so people don't get upset, bro. Dude, you know how like corpo you have to be to like say that shit, especially in like say it out loud too. Like it's part corpo, part like real shit. To be like, I'm gonna say it so you guys don't get mad.
I check the Reddit obviously because I like seeing what's up, and I like keeping in the
loop,
in touch with the community. And I think it's really easy to be like, when people don't like something, that you can be like, they're just fucking dumb, they're just complaining all the time, yada yada. But I think it's a legitimate complaint that some people don't like the guests, or they don't gel with it, or they think we invite too many guests on that they don't really know. I think that's fair. But
you invite guests on that they don't know. I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, what's the point of having guests if it's like just the same person? I thought having the same person constantly come would be kind of bland. Like, that's the point of having guests, so it's somebody new, right? Like, the same 3 hosts are there every day, right? Every podcast they're there, and then you have a guest, and like, let's say it's Chris, because Chris apparently shows up every time. Every time Chris comes on, it's like, yeah, Chris is here. Yeah, Chris is here. But when will it get to the point where it's like, oh, another Chris episode? Oh, when we're gonna have something new? Like, I don't know. I don't know Trash Taste's like analytics in there. Like, and the fan base around it. Maybe they love having Chris on every single episode and it never gets old. Maybe. I don't know.
I also think that people don't appreciate, like I said earlier, I think people don't appreciate what goes into making a show, especially when we're doing shows in other countries, and how hard that can be.
That's definitely crazy. I didn't know they were going to other countries. That's
Trash
big.
Taste be weekly and never missing a week.
That's big too. Never missing a week is big.
And
bro.
I think we'd rather have the weekly episodes because we can. It still gives us more ability to make the stuff we want, but keep that consistency for you guys.
Yes, a week.
So yeah,
bro, a weekly podcast is absolutely that's
being
rough.
a content creator is
that
sometimes
is
tough because
it is. That's
the audience
rough.
could want one thing and you want to do another, and that's tough kind of navigating that bridge.
And what do you do then? You give them what they want after you get to do what you want, or you take turns with like, oh, I want to do this type of video today. Okay, yeah. And hey, next week, guys, we're gonna do this type of video. I know you guys really love it. We're gonna have it next week, but this week I'm gonna do this. Like, that's like that'd be the best way to do it.
That's tough. We're proud. Listen, all memes aside, and I fuck around a lot and I make jokes a lot, but I do care a lot about what
you do it in person. Yeah, that's why
I want to make sure that you guys are enjoying the stuff we're putting out.
Hire a production company, like that's not.
I try my best.
That's not cheap, and it's not easy all the time.
And sometimes we invite guests on that you guys won't know, but maybe they're very entertaining. Like I'm sure a good chunk of people didn't know who Lady Beer was before the podcast. Quality over quantity. You would think that's the correct way of thinking?
Fuck. No, that's not necessarily true because you can literally look at anything like from TikTok to YouTube Shorts. Quality, especially on YouTube, quantity is rewarded on YouTube way more than quality. Like think about it. The artists that let's just say Jaden Animations, but I know Jaden, she actually releases episodes pretty there's one animator I used to love, bro. He was a Filipino. Y'all probably know him because he's an OG animator, right? And his videos were amazing. Like every video he dropped was amazing. But the issue was he dropped the video like every 2 months. So it's like, damn, it does take a while to animate this shit and come up with, it was like a story channel. And it's like, yeah, it takes a while for this shit to come out. And then YouTube was like purposely like, hey, these guys aren't putting out content frequently enough. We're not going to recommend it that much. But then there's this one channel I found, I think it was Barstool Sports, I think. They were literally pumping out a short, literally like every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, a new video or new short came out. And like they went from I watched it. They went from like 20 subscribers. And then I checked back the next day and that shit was already at like 40,000. And then the day after that, it was like 60,000. And then the day after, like, bro, and they were pumping it out every 10 minutes. Like, how do you even pump out a video every 10 minutes? I don't understand that shit. But quality, sure. But quantity is definitely rewarded more when it comes to YouTube. Like some people like can get away with dropping one video a year, like Nakey Jakey. He drops one video a year. First 10 minutes, that video has 100K. And then that video is going to get a mil in like a day or two. And like, yeah, that's good money. $1 million is like, $1 million, sorry. 1 million views is like 100,000 or a million. Yeah, it's like 100,000. Like 100,000, something like that. It's around 100,000. 100,000, that's fucking phenomenal. Not 100. Is it 100,000? Yeah, it's 100,000. Around $100,000 for a 1 million view video, if it's long enough, anyways, and shit like that. And like CPM is a lot. It's a lot of money, right? But one video and it gets 1 million versus constantly putting out videos and you just make more just from having so many more videos out. Like, and not everybody can get away with just dropping one video a year, one video every 3 months, one video every 2 months. You know, some people have to upload it.
Because everyone loves
Were they shadow banned? Who's the animator? I don't remember the animator's name. I really don't. I really wish I did. And like I can picture him. I picture his animation style and I picture his stories, but I just cannot remember the name like right now. I just can't. I really wish I could, but I really can't.
For the climate where we're at and the way that we're just doing Trash Taste, having a consistent weekly schedule is probably the most important thing, I think.
It is. So, consistency, yes. Over quality and quantity.
It's about making the weekly content as quality as possible, as opposed to being like, let's just upload one podcast a month that we like.
Yeah. That'll only work for so long.
Are you okay? Why are you being nice? I'm just trying to be understanding. Because
are you okay? Why are you being nice?
Unfortunately, we live in a world where quantity is rewarded.
Yes, I just said that. Yeah, it's true. Quantity is definitely rewarded.
It's so easy to apply the quality over quantity argument to literally everything, but it doesn't work like that in reality.
Yes. Like, imagine, like, if that was the case, how come McDonald's is one of the like most biggest companies in the world? They're not necessarily. McDonald's is not the best. Nobody's going to McDonald's for the quality. People are going because it's open 24/7 and they're all over the fucking place. Like, and that's one of the biggest fast food chains in the world. You know, so like you could take that quality versus quantity. You could take that to the extreme, and it would still come out that quantity is almost always better. Like 9 times out of 10, quantity would be better. Don't believe me? Look at TikTok, YouTube Shorts, McDonald's, fast food as a whole. Like fast food worked because a dine-in restaurant takes too long. Not everybody has an hour. Like if you go to a dine-in restaurant, let's be real, you're that's like an hour and maybe a little bit longer of your time, especially if you take a guest with you. You're going to be there for like an hour. So to take an hour out of your day multiple times in a day just to eat, that ain't going to really cut it in this world that we live in. That's why like dine-in restaurant is like a luxury. It's becoming a luxury. Like it makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah, stream's not over. Video's over. I do have to end stream soon, though, because I got to go to immigration a little bit. But yeah, it was a great video. I love the talking point. I love talking about it and talking about like the guest episodes. Like, anyways, like I said, I'd like to be on the episodes one day. I think it'd be fun to hang out with C-Dog and Giga. I can't remember the last one, but I'll familiarize myself one day. Anyway, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.